This video shows you how to format your 2.5-inch and 3.5-inch hard disk drive using your USB 3.0 SATA hard drive flat docking station, as well as your 2.5 SATA to USB hard drive caddy HDD enclosure. So first, we're taking out the hard drive dock, from the wrap, okay? And one of the major advantages of this dock is that you can interface it with a 2.5-inch HDD SATA drive or a 3.5-inch, okay? And next, we've got the USB 3.0 cable that will connect the dock to the computer. And next, we've got a power adapter that we can plug into the mains, and that would essentially provide power to the 3.5-inch HDD drive. The power adapter also supports a 2.5-inch HDD drive, but you necessarily don't need it, as a USB or a 2.5 SATA to USB hard drive caddy should be enough to power on your 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. USB ports only supply a limited amount of power, so they're not enough to power your 3.5-inch HDD drive, so you will definitely need a power adapter for the 3.5-inch, okay? And like I said, not necessarily for the 2.5-inch, okay, but you can still power your 2.5-inch with the power adapter. It's pretty much up to you. You can see at the back of the dock, one connection is for your power adapter and the other connection is for your USB, okay? So first, let's hook up the USB 3.0 cable to the USB 3.0 cable interface. The other end of the cable goes into your computer, okay? This end goes into your computer. And then subsequently connect the 3-pin mains accessory to the power adapter cable. You can use either of them accessories. When you slot it in, rotate clockwise to key the accessory into position, and rotate anti-clockwise whilst pressing the pin on the accessory to take the accessory out of the adapter. Okay, but we need it in, so we're going to stick it back in, okay? Just ensure that you don't snap the knob. When you're trying to get it out, just press down the knob first before you get the accessory. And then subsequently, plug in the power cable into the power cable interface. If you take a closer look at the dock in the enclosure, you can see an L-shaped SATA interface that matches the 3.5-inch L-shaped interface that it's got. So we're going to slide that into the dock, and when we want to read it. And the HDD should key in seamlessly into the SATA interface of the dock. Just push it gently in so that it locks in into the SATA interface, then close the lid, okay? Connect the other end of the USB 3.0 cable into your USB port of your computer, and then subsequently connect your power adapter into the power cables interface, and then the other 3-pin end into the mains, and switch on the power button. So first, we're going to try to read the 3.5-inch disc in the Mac computer and then subsequently format it. So first, we click on Finder to see if our computer recognizes a 3.5-inch HDD disk and it shows up as volumeable. And then to format it, we click on Finder to access disk utility. And once it loads up, click Erase and choose the required format. Mac OS Extended Journal is Mac read-write only. But if you click Erase and then subsequently choose exFAT, which is the format that we require, you can read-write both on Mac and Windows. You can choose any name you want, so I'll rename the name of the hard drive to Seagate 500GB 3.5. If you choose Most Secure in your security options, it essentially means that it writes multiple passes of zeros, ones, and random data over the entire disk. Suffice to say, it erases the information used to access your files and writes over the data 7 times, making it almost virtually impossible to retrieve your files using the recovery software. So I will go with the fastest, which is more like a quick format, still works for me. But if you're worried about, your data, you could use the fastest one. It's pretty much up to you, okay? And as you can see, the format was successful in exFAT, okay? right click the Get Info tab, and you will definitely see that it's in exFAT, okay, if you want to confirm. I'm just going to paste a random file just to make sure that, I can read and I can also write onto the disk. If you've got disk errors, go back to your disk utility and use first aid to find and repair your disk error. So I will disconnect the 3.5 hard drives USB and connect it again just to make sure that my Mac computer recognizes the formatted hard drive. And if I click on the file, I can access and modify the file. Click on the link in the description to see how to format the 2.5 and the 3.5 inch respectively, as well as other disk repair troubleshooting tips. The next step would be to format the 3.5 in Windows and then subsequently format the 2.5 in Windows, okay, and Mac as well. The next step of the process would be to power on our 3.5-inch drive via this docking station so that the Windows computer recognizes the hard drive. And that's the 3.5-inch hard disk drive that was formatted on the Mac that now appears on the Windows. So we right click on Start and go to Disk Management. Or we can access Disk Management via Computer Management. And you can clearly see the disk 1 is our external 3.5-inch exFAT disk that was formatted previously in Mac. So right click on that volume and delete it. Do not delete your disk 0 or your C drive, because that would lead to serious systemic issues within your computer. Okay, so just delete the volume, on disk 1 and you should be fine. Okay, so right click on the disk 1 volume and delete the volume. Okay. It is pertinent that you take cognizance of the volume that you're deleting, and also back up your files before you erase any of them volumes or delete any of them volumes on your computer. The next step would be to right click and click on New Simple Volume and just follow the rest of the process through. You can choose to format in NTFS or exFAT. With exFAT, you can read and write in Windows and Mac. And with NTFS, Apple Mac operating systems like Big Sur, Catalina, and even older operating systems can read Windows formatted NTFS drives, okay? So shouldn't be a problem. Except you're starving for disk space and performance, I wouldn't want to click File and Folder Compression, as it compresses the entire partition with Windows file compression. Everything on your partition will be compressed, as well as any new files added later. So it's pretty much up to you. I'll just select Quick Format and rename the volume label. And as you can see, we successfully formatted the 3.5-inch hard drive in Windows, and we can safely eject the hard drive from our computer. And to test our hypothesis, we can plug the hard drive back into Mac to see if it reads the formatted hard drive from Windows, which is the 3.5-inch, okay, in NTFS. Just right click and click on Get Info. And as you can see, it actually recognizes the NTFS file system. And if you're unable to save a file onto the NTFS in Mac, just reformat it to exFAT and you should be able to save files onto it and, open up the files. As you can see, I'm unable to save files onto NTFS in Mac. I don't know why that is. So all I just do is just reformat it, to exFAT, and I should be able to access the files. And see, this is what I mean here. I'm unable to paste any file onto it. There is no paste option. And I'm unable to also drag a file onto the drive. So I will just reformat it, okay? Keep the name and just change the format to exFAT so it's both Mac and Windows compatible. And that should resolve the problem. So I should be able to paste now and also drag onto the 3.5-inch formatted hard drive. And I can also open up the file